Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Oh, yes, I'm executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. Not sure quite what that means, but there you go. So let's start again. Random reviews from the Overflow room. And we are continuing our amazing review of all of the Prokofiev stuff on Chandos, some of which has been boxed up, some of which has not, all of which needs to be. So let's just continue. This is number 11 in our Prokofiev videos. There's a lot of Prokofiev, and it's really cool. This is I Musici de Montreal, doing, oh gosh, Shostakovich from Jewish folk poetry. This is such a gripping and glorious song cycle. This is a wonderful performance of it. The Prokofiev is simply the overture on Jewish themes. So that's a little thing. And then a bunch of bits by Ernest Bloch, transcribed and arranged with Yuli Turovsky on the cello. So it's kind of not much of a Prokofiev disc, but I keep it there. It's music on Hebrew themes generally, and it's really a wonderful disc. It's terrific stuff. Then we've got, oh yes, some really fun Neeme Järvi, Prokofiev's amazing cantata for the 20th anniversary of the October Revolution. 46 minutes of screaming hysteria with like an accordion orchestra and Gennady Rozhdestvensky screaming out lines from Stalin. And oh my gosh, it is such a piece of noisy crap. I love every minute of it. It's just fabulous. And this is easily its greatest recording. It wasn't popular. It didn't go over very well, like so many pieces of socialist realism, because it was actually a little bit harsh and rough and almost too much to the point. Kind of like Shostakovich's 11th Symphony. They said, give us something for the people, give us something that's socialist realist. And he's like, oh, I'll show him. I'll give him socialist realism. And that's exactly what Prokofiev did here. It's fantastic. And some excerpts from The Stoneflower. This was before Chandos did the complete ballet, The Stoneflower, with Noseda and the BBC Philharmonic. So you get it both ways, but this is like an absolute socialist realist classic. It's kind of like, the Karajan Nazis on Parade disc, Prussian orchestral marches by the Berlin Philharmonic and Karajan, like the ultimate chutzpah disc. Of course, this isn't Russian people doing it, but it's better. It's better recorded. It's louder. It's fabulous. Then we've got the concert scenario, Ivan the Terrible. For a long time, there were only a couple recordings of that. There was the Slatkin version, and then Riccardo Muti did it with the Philharmonia. And now this is also with the Philharmonia. They did it again. Who knows? Maybe they remembered it. I don't know. There's a lot of good music in here, but it's not organized the way Alexander Nevsky, Ivan Boesky, I was going to say. No, you don't remember him. He was a insider trader scandal person. Prokofiev's Ivan Boesky. Yeah, there it is. No, Ivan the Terrible concert scenario with the Philharmonia, and it's very, very good. With even though it sprawls a little bit. Violin concertos with Lydia Mordkovich. She was a wonderful violinist. I wonder what happened to her. She hasn't been around since she made all these recordings on Chandos, which were very good, of Russian stuff. The two violin concertos. Lovely, lovely work with Järvi and the Scottish people. Semyon Kotko Symphonic Suite. Much better than the complete opera. It's quite extensive, 37 minutes, which is wonderful. And The Gambler, 4 portraits from the opera, which is a wonderful, also sort of précis of the entire work. I think The Gambler is a masterpiece, but it doesn't really have tunes like his other things do. It's just brilliant and fresh. And Järvi and the Järvi people is this, the Scottish National, before it was the Royal Scottish National. Then we've got Peter and the Wolf. Oh yes, this is narrated by Lena Prokofiev, Prokofiev's first wife, who, as I mentioned previously, was deported and just shipped off to a concentration camp so that he could go marry his girlfriend, Mira Mendelssohn. But she survived, and she got out, and she was still around in 1987, and she did the narration for Peter and the Wolf. And what a good sport she was. My God. If I were her, I would say, one day Peter got up and went out into the broad green meadow to the tune written to that two-timing son of a bitch who didn't give a damn when I was shipped off to some work camp. Really kind of amazing. But it's serious. And some Cinderella ballet music. There are actually 3 real suites from Cinderella, but this is just bits of all of them. And yeah, wow. It's kind of creepy, don't you think? Definitely. Romeo and Juliet, suite number 2. Well, this is on another disc of Romeo and Juliet, all 3 suites from the ballet. But here's the second suite. And then Dreams, the symphonic poem, opus 6, very early Prokofiev, kind of Scriabin-esque. And Pushkiniana, 2 Pushkin waltzes, Yevgeny Onegin and Boris Godunov, the fountain scene with Polonaise, all incidental music that Prokofiev did. Very, 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 very unusual and rare. And then we've got, wow, War and Peace, the symphonic suite arranged Christopher Palmer from the opera, Prokofiev's operatic masterpiece, some would say. It's certainly his longest piece in their opera, and it's pretty brilliant. I saw it when they did it at the Met. It was really pretty cool. And then Summer Night, the suite from the Duena. The Duena is what you call it, Sheridan, right? Yes, and it's lovely, a lovely little suite from that opera. And then the Russian Overture, Opus 72, which nobody ever hears. It's great to get all this unusual Prokofiev. Sinfonia Concertante for cello and orchestra with Raphael Wallfisch. It's a good performance. It's not the best, but it's certainly very solid. Romeo and Juliet Suite number 3. Again, this was later taken and stuffed into the Romeo and Juliet Suites disc. So that's a bit of a repeat, or that was the original one. And then Alexander Nevsky. This is a hot Nevsky, probably the best one after the Abato and the Shippers, and those 2. And also the Scythian Suite. Very, very, very exciting performances. Very loud, very well recorded. Just terrific stuff. All this Järvi stuff is just marvelous. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me, and take care.